Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to our session number 8. This is the 30-day video reseller challenge. We're going to do something a little different. We have been meeting on Facebook. We're going to go ahead and do this on YouTube in particular. This time we're going to try out our connection with Zoom, and we may do these on YouTube going forward. So without further ado, let's get started. And so today what we're going to be talking about here is the Dream 100. And so this is really going to be part 2 of what we have been talking about here. And in so doing, what are we trying to do? We are trying to build deep roots in our niche. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to come to the point where we have traffic coming to us because they want to come to us. We don't want to drag them kicking and screaming and hog tying them to what it is that we're doing. We want them thinking of us, and we want them coming to us because they like it. Now, one of the things we're going to be talking about in this series is we're going to be talking about Kevin Kelly's concept, which is 1,000 true fans. We are not quite at that point. What we're trying to do right now is we are establishing our foundation, and we are establishing a foundation now for traffic and connection within our market or within our sub niche. And so assuming that you have gone through the previous session, and hopefully you have, if you have gone through session 7, remember, this is an ongoing process. You should already be working with your Dream 100. In other words, you should really be dialing into the people that you're going to be working with and the people that you want to connect to. But you do need a connection strategy. You need a reason as to why these people are going to be, are even going to be interested in you when you first reach out to them. Now, one of the things that Russell Brunson suggests is purchasing one, some, or all that individual's creative work. Right? Now, that may not be the most cost-effective way to do it, but that is a way for you to be able to do it. And one of the easiest reasons to understand that is that you're just going to use their support link to reach out to them, right? And you're going to use their support link as an existing customer. And that's going to get their attention right away, faster than probably anything else that you're going to be doing if they do not know you at all from a can of paint. And of course, one of the things that we said last time is that you just don't want to start sending blind emails and blind social media messages and expecting to be getting past gatekeepers and expecting to get the attention of these people. Again, I mean, we're trying to dig down into deep roots into the sub niche. Typically, these people might already be a name. They might already be an influencer. But regardless of that fact, you want to be able to get their attention. And so absent this strategy of buying all their products or even some or even one of them, you're going to have all their contact information centrally located. And so basically one of the things you're going to be thinking about while you do this is understanding their business well enough, or understanding their organization, or understanding what they're trying to accomplish, is trying to find a way to serve them. And this is something that actually Russell Brunson does talk about. This is going to be something that's going to be easy to do. Typically, if somebody's got a book launch, or they've got a product launch, or they've got something that they're into, maybe there's a charity, you can find a way that you can serve that individual. Do they have a book or product or business or organization launch? Do they have some kind of problem that you are uniquely able to solve? If they do, then this is going to be something that you're going to be able to do. It's something that you're going to be able to establish with them. Now, one of the easiest ways for you to provide value for them is to request to interview them, right? To promote their most recent activity. That's going to be one of the ways in which you can do it. If you can find a way to interview them about whatever it is that they are doing, you are going to then be able to probably serve them in a way that will help them in whatever it is they're trying to do. Now, if they've got creative work, typically this is going to be something that's going to really help them. I want you to note something though. This is not something that's going to work on all individuals at all times. Don't just kind of think that, well, I'm just going to offer to interview them. And especially if you don't really have anything else going on in terms of doing interviews, right? I mean, just don't offer it to them. And then in the next session, we're going to be talking about some connection strategies, and we're going to even go beyond that when we get to the session beyond that, where you're going to have a talking channel. But now what you want to start thinking about is, what do you have right now that you can use in order to serve this individual? Another way to really accomplish the interview is to put on an event your Dream 100 headlines, right? Either virtual or in person. So in other words, you can make them the headliner of your event or headliners of your event, right? Thinking about in particular doing some kind of virtual summit, you can make them the headliner. Now, when you make your initial contact, you're going to want to do something that other individuals have not done, are not doing, or they're not willing to do. And that may sound vague, but you're going to have to think about this because, again, you have to understand that these people are already getting inundated with requests. So you're going to have to go beyond, probably the higher up you go, the higher up in influence that this individual is, you're going to have to go and be willing to do something that others people have not done and they're not willing to do. Here's some examples. Maybe you might write a snail mail handwritten note. Right now, you might feel like that's overkill, especially if the individual doesn't acknowledge it or say yes. But again, going beyond what other individuals are willing to do, you're going to get this person's attention. A snail mail copy of your book. Now, you may not, we have not discussed this, but if you already have a paperback book that you have already written, you can send that individual a copy of that book. And again, yes, in the mail. You can send a snail mail sample of your product, right? Maybe you're going to send it by some kind of thumb drive or some kind of way that they'll get access to it. You might do a video introduction. And you're just going to record yourself by webcam and you're going to send it by YouTube. You're going to put it on a private link and send it to them. Again, introducing yourself to them and why you want to reach out to them. Again, you're not just sending an email saying, hey, you know, here I am. I'm really cool. I'd like to work with you. I'd like to really talk with you. No, you're going to really put something together that's going to make you stand out from everyone else. Again, record this privately on YouTube or Vimeo and send them the link to your video introduction into what it is you're doing and how it is they fit into it. You're probably still going to want to reach out to them using their social media. You should already be interacting with their post already. So this was not something that was said at the beginning, but this is something that you should already be doing. And again, you don't have to, you don't have to be fawning over them. What you really want to do is you want to react to things genuinely. The things that intersect what you're trying to do, you want to interact with those things and you want to be interacting with these individuals on social media. Now, again, you don't want to have your time taken up by social media. This is something that you want to make sure that even if you're not going to outsource it, that you spend a specific amount of time doing, but you leave the bulk of your time spent on both creating something awesome as well as the other marketing strategies we're going to be talking about. And make sure you mention, your personal outreach that you've already connected with them, on their social media. And one of the reasons you want to do this is going to make them easy to get back in touch with you. So again, you send a snail mail handwritten note, send a snail mail copy of your book, sample of your product, your video introduction. What you're going to do then is you're going to tell them, hey, we're already connected on social media. Maybe they know, maybe they don't know. But again, what this does is it means then that it's easy for them to start getting back to you. Okay, and then what you want to start thinking about is what you can do personally. What can you do that will force them to take time out of the day to thank you personally? Again, you want to do something that's out of the ordinary. This comes back to understanding how you can serve them best. And then, as stated earlier, it may mean that you have purchased their products. Right? Now, again, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can't do that with everybody in your Dream 100, but it may mean that you have already purchased their product. If they are an author, you have purchased their book. One of the ways around that, we'll talk about this in another session, is you can do something with a service called Kindle. You can do something with Skillshare. You can do something with, with Kindle Unlimited. This can be a cost-effective way of being able to get access to an individual or get access to an individual's course and to be able to talk about this and be conversant with them. We'll talk about this in the next session. You're probably already following them on their favorite social media. Again, stress favorite, wherever it is that they are personal and they are doing interactions. That's where you want to be. Just because they have a Twitter account, they're not active on there. Connecting with them on there may not necessarily get you the exposure or get you the connection that you want. Again, trying to find the place that is their favorite social media. And then, when you're doing that, you're already going to have a good idea of what's important to them. And then you're going to have the inside track on how to serve them best. And so that's really how you want to approach this whole idea of getting into talking to your Dream 100. Now, in the next session, we're really going to get into some specific scripts or some specific language you can use in your reaching out. Okay, so if this has been helpful to you in some way, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to go to the plrshow.com/shout. and ask you to give us a shout out and say, hey, this has been helpful to you, and just let us know why, and then that will be helpful to us. Make sure you are subscribed. You can do that at the PLRshow.com. Right? We talk about PLR every single day. You can reach out to us. You can also find hosting for your Learning Center. If you already have PLR video and you're looking for a place to host it, you already know that in some cases you need to own your own platform, that you don't want to depend on either YouTube or Facebook. As I'm on Facebook, but I'm on YouTube, but if I had to sell something to you, I probably would not sell it to you based on what YouTube is doing or have that content hosted in YouTube. I want to make sure that if anything goes sideways, I'm going to have access to the content that people are paying for. And one of the ways you do that is to own your platform. You can do that at the plrshow.com/LCHSTNG. And also, just so that you'll know, there is some funnel building software available that we have been talking about. You can pick that up at the plrshow.com/FSCRTH. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you all hanging out here with us. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.